Here is a quick reality check for some of the High Point owners out there. Now, I'm a High Point owner as well. I like High Points. And for what they are, they're great. They're good for basic self-defense, home protection, all that good stuff. Field use, sure. But there are some High Point owners out there that are dead set on telling people, well, my High Point is the best on the market. It's the best out there. It beats other handguns. For $150 to $200, my High Point can do more than a $500 or $800 gun. Those guys are just idiots for buying their guns. Anybody that spends more money than the money on a High Point is just a dumbass. Well, I guess that makes me a total idiot then. Because there's just but a couple other guns I have in my little so-called arsenal. High Points are good for what they are. They're the best in their class, which the High Point competition is basically like Cobra firearms and any of the older so-called Saturday night specials out there. I put that in High Point's bracket. High Point is not competing with Glock or not competing with 1911 or any of the other manufacturers out there. It's not even competing with Taurus. They're in a totally different league. The High Point is not the best gun out there, period. And that can be determined by just taking guns in a scientific atmosphere and testing them out. It's not just High Point owners that do it. Glock owners do it, 1911 owners do it, and all the other gun owners do it. They say, well, my gun's the best. And basically what they're doing is they're justifying their purchases. Everybody does it. I've done it in the past before. I'm guilty as charged. But we have to remember, there's a reason why there are so many handguns on the market. If there was one best handgun out there, there wouldn't be any other handguns. Because that one best handgun would take over everything. Hey, this is the one best handgun. What do you need anything else for? This gun has it all. So you go to a gun store, all you'd see is just a whole bunch of this one best handgun. But that's not the case. Different tools for different uses. This High Point, for example, I would never take to the Middle East or to any other hostile area. Those two up there I would. 1911, sure, no problem. A Glock, sure. A lot of other handguns out there, the FNs, the Smiths, sure, no problem. What would I use this High Point for? Well, basic home defense. Because this one I've shot and I've gotten things broken in and I've tweaked some stuff on it and it's perfect. This thing runs really good. So for home defense, yep, I'd use this. Basic field use, sure. Take it out to the woods with me? Sure, I'd do it. Target shooting? Absolutely. That's probably the main use that this gun gets these days is going out target shooting, all that good stuff. But folks, High Point owners, don't go out there and say your gun is the best because it ain't. Your gun ain't the best. Bottom line, every gun has a different use and a different purpose. Some people say, well, a Glock will blow up before a High Point. And in some cases, that might be true. But a Glock will outlast a High Point. And that's been proven time and time again. A Glock will take more rounds in between cleanings than a High Point will. A Glock's internals will last longer over repeated use over a High Point. Same with the 1911. A good 1911 will last tons longer than a High Point will. And that's just the way it is. Don't criticize somebody for owning a High Point, and for the guys that own a High Point, don't criticize somebody for wanting to spend a little bit more and get something else. Some High Point owners will call me a dumbass for having a 1911 and a Glock like that. I mean, I've got over $800 invested in this thing, and this thing's sitting right now with everything in it, sitting right around $800 invested. So I got like $1,600 worth of handguns sitting up here versus, about $160 worth of handgun right there. But that's my choice. And different tools for different applications. So High Point owners, Shoot your high points, have fun with your high points, but for God's sake, don't say your high points are the best out there, because they are not. I could make a video and talk about a lot of things that suck about the high point. I really could, and if you want me to, I can do so. And keep in mind, I like high points. I really do. I like the high points. I think they're awesome, but there are a lot of things that I think suck, and I think high point, I want to know what the owner was thinking when they came up with this stuff, because they could have changed some things on it and kept the price point right at the same without having to increase, production costs or anything like that, in my opinion. So, all right, thanks a lot for watching, and please keep it real. I mean, yeah, it's one thing to joke around when you're having little conversations. Hey, yeah, my gun's the best, your gun's the best, yada, yada, yada. But in all seriousness, there are people out there that use these videos and use forums for information. So don't mislead them. Don't say, well, the high point is the greatest thing since sliced bread, when it's not. All right, thanks a lot for watching.